All right, guys, here we go. Really cool podcast. Coming back on, my main man, Phil Daru. First of all, bud, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on, by the way. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. We had a blast, I thought, last time. A lot of questions from the fans, and, we're running. We're over 230 podcasts. I definitely want to get into your podcast. I've been loving it so far. But big news. You put up the post yesterday, 36 hours ago. I would love for you to have the time, talk about this new adventure, and literally the floor is yours, my man.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people have known by now,
right,
due to my post, and I guess other people talking, that I have officially left American Top Team. It's been a great run. I mean, I've definitely learned a lot, made a lot of great connections, was able to work with some of the best in the world. And it was just my time to go, man. It was my time to branch out and do my own thing and just kind of let loose a little bit more on what I can do with other individuals outside of American Top Team. Whereas, like, I kind of got, not shackled, but I had to abide by the team rules. And at the end of the day, what I'm trying to do is to help as many fighters and athletes as I possibly can. And with that, I was stuck in under one roof. And that was, now at the point that I'm at, at the moment, I'm looking to branch out. I'm looking to get with other athletes, other sports. I'm working with my old high school football team, where a lot of these kids, actually almost all of them, are D1 prospects. So it's really good. It's a breath of fresh air to work with other individuals like that, and just young kids that are willing to learn and are hungry to get better. And then obviously I'm still going to be working with Dustin Poirier, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Edson Barbosa, Junior Dos Santos, and honestly any other American Top Team fighter that wants to come to my facility. My doors are always open.
Right.
But it's just my time, man. I've been there for almost 11 years. As a coach and as a fighter. So I thought, with this, at this point in time, I just know that when it's your time to go, it's your time to go, and there was a ceiling there. And when I started there, I had a 5-year goal, and I knew that I was going to do what I needed to do. And I had, many goals to lead up to the big goal, which was basically, set up my brand and build out, a quality resume, which I did. And I actually was able to meet my goal within 4.5 years. So it took me 4.5 years. And now, we built up a facility for the athletes to go, and then also for the general public. So I have 2 locations. I have one in Pompano Beach, Florida, and the other one is in Boca Raton, Florida. And I'm actually partnering up with Mo Vaughn, who is an ex-baseball player, played for the Red Sox, the Angels, the Mets.
I love me some Mo Vaughn. I saw that, Phil. I'm sorry to interrupt, my man, but I saw when you put in Mo Vaughn, I was like, gosh, not a lot of people know him. 42, right? Husky, the lefty, man, he would pull it against that monster. Like, when you put that, I was like, man, I'm old school a little bit, Phil, so I'm like, I was loving that Mo Vaughn pitch. But keep it going, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so that's a funny thing, because so I met him at American Top Team. He came to the gym, and Conan, the head coach, was like, we have a guy that wants to work with you. He played in the major leagues. And I was like, all right, cool. So I don't watch a lot of baseball. I really don't. Like, I was a football guy, and then, obviously I went right into MMA and boxing. So when he came in, I was like, oh, okay, it's a big dude. Like, probably was pretty good. And then my dad and my entire side of my dad's family is from Boston. So I told him, I go, I'm working with this guy, Mo Vaughn, and he's like, get the hell out of here. Are you serious? So I found out who he was real quick, and then I started working with him. I was training him just to get him back in shape and feel better. And,
right.
Because he's been beat up all those years of playing. So, with that, he opened up a facility for batting to help with his kids that he was training. And then he asked me if I wanted to be involved. And, I was like, I don't have a whole lot of time, but I'll help you out as much as I can. And then, he's now opening up. That was like a year ago. So now he's opening up, 2 times the size of that now. And he was like, man, I really need to get you in here to help with the kids. You can work with them. We can bring your gym in there. And I was like, man, I'm like, this might be a good time. And everything is all about timing, man. And
right.
I think
yes, sir.
Last year wasn't the time for it. I still was trying to figure it out. I still had a lot on my plate with the fighters, and for that, I found that, being patient and also, but keeping your head down and being persistent in what you're good at, and then putting the right people in place and giving yourself a positive team to help you out is the ultimate way to get success. And so for that, I developed a team around me. I have the digital marketing side where I have a whole digital team that does all of my marketing and media. They do a phenomenal job. I have a videographer that's on point. He does all of my podcasts, all of my videos for YouTube.
Yeah.
And then obviously I have, the people that work in the gym, my coaches, my assistant, my GM. So we're building out a solid, almost enterprise, in my opinion. I'm trying to get to a point where you're going to have Daru Strong training gyms around the world. We're looking into India. We're looking into the UK. So we have a lot going on. I'm pretty excited about the next 10 years of this evolution of my brand.
Man, Phil, this is incredible, guys. Phil Daru just doing absolutely just big, brilliant things. Man, so much love and power to you, Phil. A couple things you said there I definitely want to hit on. When you said about multiple locations, of course, you're the face. I think of Daru Strong. I think of your face. I think of the beard a little bit. You know what I'm saying? When you're not at one of those locations, what do you say to the athletes or to the general public that, want you there? They want to be, trained by you. They want to be yelled at you. What do you say, like you're building a great enough team around you, so if you're not at one of the locations, you still feel good about what's going on over there? What do you say to the top-tier athletes or even the people that you're trying to on the come-up?
Yeah, that's the most difficult part. When
Yes,
I opened up my first gym, I used to run all the boot camps, all the classes, but I was also training for my own fights. And then, obviously you can't be everywhere at once. So what you have to do is you have to find individuals that are different from you, but share the same passion and the same approach. And if they can understand just the basic principles of how I do things and then put their little spin on it with their own personality, but have that passion that I drive home every day, it will create a positive environment for all athletes to get better. So that's why I decided to develop the mentorship, to be honest with you, because I knew a lot of coaches that were very good, that shared similar passion for the sport, for the athletes getting better, for the profession, but they just needed a little bit more guidance. And that's why right now we have over 350 coaches in my mentorship program.
Wow.
That are all going to be certified through me. And honestly, I'm not saying I'm the end all be all, but I like to give them as much quality information from practical knowledge and practical experience as possible, so that they can take it over with them. Because again, you can be, very intelligent, and a lot of these guys are, girls are, they got great education. They're, upper level PhDs, master's degrees, but they just can't get that experience that you get in the weight room if they haven't been there. So I try to relay over as much experience as possible. And then from there, when we have these coaches come in and they want to open up a basic Daru Strong gym, well, then I give them the opportunity to learn from me for a little bit. They get one-on-one consult calls and a monthly call with me to go over everything, so that there's no stone unturned, in my opinion.
Right. No, that's awesome. My main man, you okay driving? It sounds like it's raining down there. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Good.
Gotcha. I appreciate your time. I really do, Phil. Two kind of questions kind of with the leave a little bit. For one, I don't know if you saw or heard, literally I called him that night. It's awesome how Dean Thomas always answers, right? And he kind of put out something 7 weeks ago. I called. And he goes, yeah, Dave, it's, true. I just, same kind of thing with you. No, no blah, blah. I want to be more creative. I want to do my own thing. I really want to use everything that I've got through all the years I've put into it. And he came on the podcast that night, and it was awesome. It was great content. Kind of the same to you is everything still good on the other side, the ATT side? Because there is so many of those athletes kind of going back and forth. Was that important to you to try to leave with the best foot forward with American Top Team?
You always want to leave, with class and make sure that you're not burning any bridges, just for future relationships, and for me, I have no issues at all, whatsoever. I think at this point, it was just, I was not to say outgrowing, because American Top Team is one of the biggest and best gyms in the world, but it was just, like I said, my time. And Dean, me and Dean are very close. I started with Dean. Before I even been a part of American Top Team, I was Dean Thomas affiliated American Top Team. So when he left, we had a long conversation, and we kind of shared the same views
Right.
as people trying to come up in the world and trying to get better and always elevate. And for that, he knew that it was going to be close for me to go to as well. And I needed timing. It was good timing at the point. Right now we're going through like a pandemic era. So like what we got to do is really figure out a way that we can still progress in these times of hardship. And with this, it was just a perfect time for me to do it. Now, all the fighters at American Top Team, those are like, I hold them in high regard, very close to a lot of them, obviously, as you could see. And again, like I said, they're welcome to come to my facility. And honestly, the great thing about that is that I get to train them the way I need to train them to get the maximal performance out of them. There's a lot of times where with ATT, we really didn't have the abilities to do what I needed to do just based off of, just maybe equipment issues or space, believe it or not, because it is a big gym, but there is a lot of people in there. So
right. A lot of mats.
It wasn't nothing against them. It was just, again, it was just how it was. So now I'm able to set up and have all the equipment that I need. Everything in my gym at the performance side is predicated and dedicated to getting them in the best physical condition that they possibly can be in to be, successful in the cage or in the ring.
Right. And same thing like you just said. I saw you at ATT. The gym is humongous, like you said, but there's a lot of room for mats, two big areas. There's the cage. And, where you guys do the running, sometimes it's a little tucked in the back, and there's a lot of people walking around, like you said. I saw some of the Instagram videos through Edson Barbosa, Mike Beast Boy Davis, K-Rock, and to see, like, the new facility, it's all in, that's it. There's no finesse, there's no extra. You got in what you need to get in there, One thing you hit on it, I literally had it in permanent red marker on my page. It's so funny you kind of brought it up. That's Phil Daru. Your dream, you want to open up this gym, brand new podcast, Daru Strong everywhere. You got stickers, you got it all on the walls, and then a global pandemic happens. How did that make you feel? Did it almost say like, hey, I'm going to even go above this. This is just another obstacle that I know I can go through, literally maybe through the rock. How have you been through this whole corona pandemic, and how amped are you that it seems like, in the last week, Phil, even here in Daytona Beach, people are starting to get back to it. You know what I mean? People are starting to get back to the real world. So how did you feel when it happened, and how are you right now?
Honestly, it's going to sound a little bit messed up, but I feel great, man. I think that with all these setbacks and things that happen in life, I've been through tremendous downfalls and failures. And the problem is that a lot of people have different mindsets to different things. When people lose or, people go through these certain situations, there's one or two things that can happen. Is either you can crumble or you can rise above it. And for me, I embrace the hardship because I know that it's going to be a better outcome, because there is always time to improve. And I just want to keep going, man. It's like a lot of times people say like, okay, well, how do you get over hurdles and how do you get over failure? And I honestly think that it's not even real. I think it's only real if you make it real, because at the end of the day, life's going to go on. It's what you do when life goes on is what is going to be, set your legacy in times of these, these hard times like we talked about. But for me, I kind of was like, all right, well, here we go. Here's another stepping stone. Here's another way to improve and to get better and to learn from certain circumstances and situations that may happen and arise again, and may happen and arise even worse. So I have to be fully prepared. And you can't be prepared if you never go through these certain situations. Right. So again, going and feeling this pain or feeling these setbacks will allow a person to grow. And again, it just depends on the person, on how they go about taking it. So I take it in stride and I keep moving forward.
Absolutely, man. And to bring it back into the octagon, we talked about it last time you were on. We don't think George Masvidal is who he is without those 13 losses on the way up. Justin Gaethje, probably the hottest name in MMA, lost 2 times in a row. And sometimes in the UFC, that's like a death nail to lose 2 times in a row. He's the hottest, biggest name, 155-pound champ. And, hey, we would love to see your boy Dustin get a little bit back on him. A couple more questions. Like I said, I know you're so busy. 2, 3 more things. One, I really do want to hit on the podcast. I'm such a podcast guy. I've been a podcast guy for 5, 8 years before it was cool. Like I said, we're around 230 deep in ours, the Fight Bananas. Appreciate it, my man. Hey, Joe Rogan just signed a $100 million deal. The Daru Strong Show. I'm telling you, I love your podcast. I listen to every single episode. Is that something, how passionate are you in that pod? And in the future, where do you see your podcast going?
Yeah, I am really passionate about it, really, to be honest with you, because I like to converse with like-minded individuals. I like to get on there and actually talk to people that I know that are going to actually make me better. I get on there. I'm almost somewhat selfish because I invite people that I actually truly want to learn from and talk to.
Right.
So, I mean, we're 6 episodes now, so it's not like, but I've done already 15.
Oh, okay.
So we have all in the bank. So we're piling them up, and I do 4 a week. So I'll do 4 calls a week.
Right.
So we have them already set, ready to go. But I'm calling the individuals that I truly want to talk to and learn from, and who I respect in the game. And it's not just about MMA. It's not just about strength and conditioning. It's widely versed, and I'm trying to do something in the realm of something like a Joe Rogan, where he's getting on people from all different genres to bring quality information to the masses. And for that, I'm looking to take this thing, I started it saying, this is episode 001 because I know that I'm going to be doing at least triple and quadruple digits going further. So, I'm trying to take this thing to the next level always. And every time that I get into a certain realm or, whatever thing that I'm trying to get into and accomplish, I want to take it to that highest level that I possibly can. So if I'm doing podcasting, I'm trying to be the best podcaster I possibly can be, right? I'm trying to work hard at it. I'm trying to get better at my interviewing skills, how I communicate. And that also helps with coaching. So it goes hand in hand, I think I've developed a lot better communication skills just due to the fact that I've been able to communicate with all different types of people from all different walks of life. And that's something that I got from American Top Team. Like, there's a lot of things that I take away from that gym, that will carry over for the rest of my life. So that's why I will never badmouth it. I will never say anything, of that nature, because again, like I said, I learned from everything, either the good or the bad. I learned from it, and now I'm a better person for it. Absolutely,
my man. Like, I've had so many, and even I take a little bit from you. I take a little bit from Dean Thomas. I take a little bit. I just had John Anik on 3-4 weeks ago, and he said a couple things. I'm like, oh, I'm taking that. Like, I like how he said it or how he phrased it. So like, I can only get better. That's my goal every single time I hit the record button. It's like, okay, how can I do to get better? How can I do to just keep on pushing and achieving? So I'm loving it too. I love the mentality. Probably the last thing, I don't know if you've been watching it. It's been, especially with the pandemic, it's been just tremendous. The Last Dance, Michael Jordan. And, and I know when I was about to talk to you, I really thought of you a lot during it, because this is where I'm taking it. His mentality, it's something that the new school players or athletes, it's just kind of, put in an athlete. It's a different mentality base. It seemed like those old school and those top end guys, even how like Michael Jordan talked to Larry Bird, there was just a way that they communicated. There was a way that they had to win at every single dang thing they did. And it just seems like the new school is a little bit like, hey, it's okay. It's okay if I lose this fighter. It's okay if I skip this training. It's okay if I got my Instagram followers came up, though, on this week. You know what I'm saying? So I just think the mentality, and I'm not trying to sound like that old school guy, but I just feel like the old school a little bit just had a little bit harder, a little bit sharper mentality in the game. I'm just thinking your 2 cents. You agree or disagree with that?
I actually do. I can't speak for basketball, honestly. But what I can say is that, the kids nowadays, a lot of it, even when, I look at now, I work with a lot of high school kids, and even though they're highly talented, that mindset that we had growing up, when I was in high school and when I was watching the other bigger kids grow up. It was definitely a different. I would compete. It's funny because I did watch it, and I watched Jordan. Like, everything was a competition. And I'm like, man, that's me right there. Like, yes. I literally would compete in anything possible. Like, it doesn't matter what it was. Flipping coins, racing on the streets with no shoes on, climbing a tree faster than the other person. Like, it didn't matter. And if I wasn't competing and I didn't beat you or whatever, it was like I had no purpose. So I needed to always find that way to compete. And I think that with the kids nowadays, because of the fact that, you know, you get the participation awards and you just got to show up. And I'm like, I tell the kids, man, yeah, you showed up, but what did you do when you got there? Right. What did you put out? You know, because all we can really measure is effort. And if you don't have optimal effort, if you don't put in the work, you're never going to get to your true potential. So for that, I always have to tell them to just audit what you're doing on a daily basis. Just because you showed up doesn't mean you won the day. Trust me. And I know people will say that, you know, all you have to do is show up. No. Once you show up, what you going to do when you get there? Honestly. Because I know a lot of people that show up and then half-ass the entire training session. Right. I know a lot of people that show up to the game and they fell asleep and you don't even see it. You know, they don't score any points, or they don't make that pivotal block and they lose the game, you know. Or they don't show up in the cage and they get knocked out because they weren't paying attention or focused on the game plan. There's a lot going on there. So, yeah, show up. But then make sure you put in the effort once you get in there.
Absolutely, man. I see so many people when they walk into the gym, or even with a podcast with, I'm just going to kind of take it where I'm at. They go on Instagram and they show the picture of their mic, or they show the picture of their studio real quick, or they do it on, walking into the gym. And then all of a sudden, 30 minutes later, you see him at Target or something. It's like, wait a second now. When I'm in the studio, I'm in here for 4 hours. I'm prepping. I got the next thing. I'm working on audio. I'm working on video. I'm trying to get every fact. How we talked about. I remember our last podcast together to this podcast. So it's like every little detail that you can do. We don't just show up and turn on the mic. You don't go up to your training facility and just turn on the lights. There's so much behind it and so much. Man, I'm loving it. Phil Daru, man. Very, very happy for you. I still follow you from afar. I can't wait. I want to go down there myself. I definitely want to see it. Definitely, talk to you in person. And I love the gym. I've been seeing a lot of the videos. Like I said, Edson Barbosa and Mike Beast Boy Davis and K-Rock. They're really showing it off great. And just continued success, my man. Just pretty pumped for you. The Daru Strong podcast, definitely download, subscribe, give it a listen. It's absolute fire. It's great stuff. And, man, just continue success. If the floor is yours, if you do want to hit on anything or shout out anything, Phil, the floor is yours, my man.
Thanks, David. I appreciate you, man. And this podcast is truly something special, man. So I thank you for having me on. If you guys want to check me out, go ahead. If you haven't done so, follow me on Instagram. It's at Daru Strong. You can go to my website, darustrong.com. Have a ton of different online programs that you can sign up for and actually do. If you are a coach and want to learn a little bit from me, learn the methods, learn the principles that I utilize, all of the methodologies from even the assessment protocol all the way over to programming, you can check out my mentorship program, my online coaching course. That's available also on my website. And then also, if you're in the South Florida area, come check out my new spots. I got one in Pompano Beach and one in Boca Raton, Florida. So we'll be out here.
That's awesome, my man. Like I said, just continued success. You're killing the game, and I can't wait to see what's next for you. We're out of this pandemic, coming into summer 2020. Just big things for you, Phil. We'll talk to you real soon, all right, my man?
Thanks, brother. I'll talk to you.
All right. There we go. That's how you do a podcast. My main man, Phil Daru, the Daru Strong podcast. Go hit it up. I'm telling you. After you listen to ours, the Fight Bananas podcast, definitely go get it. Go rate it. Go subscribe. Like it, share it, all that. Definitely give his podcast. It's awesome. I'm telling you. It's 6 episodes in. Everyone, it's just a wealth of information. I just love how he communicates. Him and Dean is a great, great podcast. I think it was number 2 off the top of my head. I loved it. It was probably been my favorite because I'm a big Dean Thomas guy myself. Guys, this podcast has been supported by Warhammer Fightwear. Check them out right now at warhammerfightwear.com. Or you can hit him up on the Amazon app as well. You go on Amazon, you kind of get you get some stuff for your kids, you kind of get some drinks for yourself, you kind of get that new technology piece. Put in Warhammer Fightwear in that search bar and get a new tee. Get a dry fit tee. I wear them 2 days a week. They got new stuff for the ladies. They got new stuff for the kids, boys and girls. So definitely, guys, hit them up on Amazon or just go to their mother site, warhammerfightwear.com. All right, guys, Phil Daru, just so happy to have him back on. Big news. I saw the post. I kind of saw the writing on the wall. I don't know if you remember, guys, like 5-6 episodes. I had Ryan Quinn on, and I kind of asked him about Phil, and, he didn't say that he was leaving, and maybe he didn't know, or maybe he knew, and I totally get it. I know it happens all the time. I know tons of stuff behind the scenes, and you can't burn bridges and, kill sources and all that, so I get it, but I'm just so happy for him. I know he's going to absolutely kill it, just that's who he is. Whatever he wanted to do. If he wanted to open up a supermarket down there in South Florida, he would kill it, because that's what Phil Daru does. So, guys, thank you so much. Subscribe to our Fight Bananas YouTube channel. iHeartRadio is where we're exploding. Also, give us a rate. I know it's a new thing. I haven't asked you guys over 200 episodes, but I guess they want us to. So give us 5 stars. That's all we do is 5-star podcast around here. Phil Daru, give him a follow. Go to darustrong.com right now. Go to fightbananas.com. God bless you guys. Stay strong. Stay positive. We're almost through this pandemic. And just keep on. We are crazy about fights. And just keep on staying bananas. We get at you later.